only on the Nintendo Entertainment System. Now you're playing with power.
Hey folks, Crazy Climber 80 here again. And this time we're going to look at game number 17 in our 20 from the Nintendo Entertainment System series. And this game is part of the Renegade series that features the character Kunio, although in this game he is known as Alex. And this game is called River City Ransom. This was such a cool beat 'em up. This is a semi beat 'em up, also RPG type of hybrid game. And there's the cartridge of River City Ransom. Other games in this series were Crash and the Boys. There was a soccer, I think a baseball game, hockey game that featured Alex and his friend Ryan. And Ryan was also known as Riki in the original Japanese version of Renegade. But the game starts you right off. You select one player or two players simultaneous play. Player 1 is Alex and player 2 is Ryan. And then once you've decided whether it's one player or two player game, you can change the speed of the messages that will flash by on the screen. And there will be a lot of talking, a lot of dialogue. And you can choose to play novice or advanced. And we're going to go with novice. Advanced has tougher enemies. And there's a little bit of story here that you see. A girl is kidnapped by Slick, and she is Alex's or Ryan's girlfriend. And then we get started. You can punch and kick with the B and A buttons, and you can jump by pressing both buttons together. And when you beat up enemies, they drop coins. And they also talk. And they say barf at the bottom. This game is hilarious. And you can pick up weapons off the ground and swing them at the enemies or throw them. There will be brass knuckles, there will be chains, there will be sticks. And there will also be baseballs sometimes. And the enemies will leave coins. And there will be different types of gangs. And you'll see that the gangs wear different colors. And there will be different parts of town that you go to for each screen. And you can exit through some sort of door or alleyway or something. If you want to get rid of a weapon that you picked up, you press the button that you didn't press to pick it up. You press the other button and you'll throw it. Now note that flying objects, whether or not an enemy threw them or they were just dropped, that hit you can really hurt you, so watch out. One thing I think is funniest about this game is that if an enemy picks up an object like a trash can or something, and they come close to the wall that you're standing on, and you drop right down on the object they're holding, they will run around with carrying you on the object. It's hilarious. Now this is the first town we enter, and this is Grotto Mall, and it has various different stores that you can enter. You can purchase items, and you start with $20. You can purchase items, and these items can give you improvement on your stats. And there is a stat screen that you can look at to see what your stats are. And your stats can max out at, I think it was like 64 or something. Or maybe it was 67, I don't remember exactly, but there we bought one of the techniques you can learn, and you have to use it. And that's Dragon Feet. You want to buy that as soon as you can, because that makes your kicks a series of rapid fire kicks. Super useful for taking down the enemy. You can also purchase Stone Hands, which is a rapid-fire hands version. There it is. Super fast kick. That is super useful early on. And you really only need that. There is also what's called Acro Circus. Yeah, watch out. Do not let bouncing weapons hit you. You can also use, like I said, it's called Acro Circus. And when you double tap left or right, you will run. And when you're running, you can do a jump attack. And if you have Acro Circus, you will flip in the air. And any enemies you touch in that state will get hurt. And here is a park. This is called, what is it? Sherman Park. Now, a number of the areas, we're just going to skip forward to various areas. This is the construction site shortly afterwards. Some areas will have places you can fall down and die. You don't die. See what I mean? Isn't that hilarious? You don't die, but you will lose half the money you had if you get defeated by the enemies or fall down an area, and you will be sent back to the last town you visited. And this is the boss, and his name is Moose. And you get a lot more money from the bosses you defeat. And to face the bosses, oftentimes you have to beat all of the gang members in one area. And here's the next mall. This is a Waterfront Mall. And each mall has a number of different shops. And some of them will have bookstores where you can purchase those techniques. You use the book and you will read it and learn its technique. And there will be various shops that you can get items to restore your energy with. Some restore a lot more energy than others. And if you have built up a lot of status, then when you run really low of energy and the enemies knock you around and you get up, you might be able to recover a little bit. And there is Stone Hands. Now here's a little bit of the story unveiled here. This is Roxy, and this is the last boss's girlfriend, and she wants to help you. The final boss of the game is known as Slick, but he also calls himself Simon. I'm not sure what the hell that's about. Now you can press up here after you're done talking with her, and you can face two bosses, Benny and Clyde. And once you're strong enough, and here they are, once you're strong enough, you can beat them up over and over and over again, and you can get $7 for beating both of them. Just to the right is a river, and you will lose all your energy if you fall in the river, so be careful. And again, once you lose all your energy from being beaten up or falling off a cliff or falling in a river, you will lose half your money, and you can press select to go from your status to your money and back. And when you do run out of your energy, you get sent back to the last mall that you visited. Yeah, that's the Stone Hands. There's also, like I said, Acro Circus, which is actually kind of stupid. Here's me purchasing the Stone Hands. And there's also one called Javelin Man, where you can throw your enemy and he'll fly across the screen. Mixed roll. Keep that in mind, because that is an excellent way to recover energy. And it's really not that expensive at $10.50. And there's Acro Circus, and I'm going to purchase it here. God, I love this game. This game's hilarious. the way that he eats food is his mouth turns giant and he gulps the whole plate down. And the dialogue from the enemies that you defeat is pretty funny. But yeah, if you've ever played the original game Renegade, they changed the graphics for the American version so that they didn't look like the character from the Japanese original. You can't go to the right any further, so you have to go up here. You will need to defeat bosses, a number of bosses, sometimes in a certain order, or other ones won't appear. The coins will disappear pretty quick, so you need to collect them fairly quickly if you want to get the money. But yeah, if you drop right down on the object that they're carrying, they'll run around with you standing on that object. It looks hilarious. But to advance further in the game, you'll need to keep beating bosses, and like I said, sometimes in a certain order. But watch out around bouncing objects or flying objects. The enemies get more and more proficient with throwing those objects around. There's a baseball. We're just scooting ahead to certain parts. And this is the Wsl Warehouse. And if you have beaten all the gangs inside an area, then the boss might appear. And here's the boss, Rocco, of the Wsl Warehouse. You sometimes need to press up and jump onto a wall or something, and that really helps you around a lot of bosses and a lot of enemies, because the enemies will often not jump up to where you are, and you can just drop off and use your rapid attack to get them. Eventually, you'll be prompted to come back here to face Blade, a boss in Sherman Park. And again, use walls to drop down off of, or sometimes, if the enemy's really close to your wall, you can just kick and you'll hit them in the head, and they won't be able to get you back. If you have a two-player simultaneous play in the Sherman Park, you can throw that baseball to the other player and they can hit it with a stick. Play a little baseball. This game is just so great. We're just going to look at some more areas you can go to. This is the Armstrong Thruway. There's a secret shop under that second to last light. Press up and you'll go into it. Merlin's Mystery Shop. And the most expensive items in this game are here. Or some of them. Here's one that's $200. Good gracious. But you select belongings. You press start, you go to belongings, and then you can use the ISIS scroll. What am I supposed to do with this thing? That dialogue is really funny too, once you use something. And there, I lost all my energy. So I get pushed back to the last mall that I visited, and I lose half my money. But sometimes that's a good thing to do, in case you got too far forward and you wanted a quick way backwards. This game has such terrific music, great sense of humor, interesting names for the gang members, the Squids. But yeah, the tougher they are, the more money they're going to give you when you defeat them. And then they might have a boss that you can defeat and get even more money. Benny and Clyde, yeah, those Texas boots, you want to try to save for those if you can. Benny and Clyde are good bosses to beat over and over and over again for money. To see Thor, you gotta beat all 3 zombies. There's a gang of zombie bosses, and you want to beat them all before you can face another boss called Thor. So you have to do this in order, in a certain order, so that you can advance to later parts of the game. Eventually, you will need to get to River City High School, and that's Mojo. That's another boss. Unbelievable, you're as mean as a zombie. Look for Thor in the factory's back room. This is Flatirons Mall, and then there's downtown. There's a number of areas that have the same name, but they're kind of different layout. Downtown, Sticksville. But yeah, use those walls to drop off of by pushing down once you get on them, and then do a rapid fire kick as you fall, or as you land, and you'll hit the enemy and then get back up on the wall and repeat. You can pick up and throw enemies. You can also use the enemies' bodies to hit other enemies. It's hilarious. Just love the sense of humor from this game. And there's my Acro Circus, which isn't that great. And this is the vacant third wheel factory. You cannot jump across, as far as I know, this little gap to the right there. Even if you removed the Acro Circus book from your inventory. Ow! Yeah, watch out, watch out. Do not get hit by flying objects. The stronger of kick that you have, the further you can kick those boxes or whatever. You can send them really flying across the room. It's really funny. But yeah, there will be certain doors that'll warp you up to a higher ledge. And you'll want to eventually beat all these enemies, and I think you can eventually face a boss in this area. You just need to know the order of enemies that you might have to face. You can kick them off right into that pit there. Yeah, do not fall in the pit unless you want to be forced backwards to an earlier mall. Which might be a good idea, save you a little time or something. There's no shame in running out of energy and having to start with half your money on your next life. There's unlimited lives, by the way. In this mall, there's two shops to the left. There's not usually anything to the left when you go into a mall, but there is in this one. And that's the Oak Hill Mall, I believe. And here's Benny and Clyde. You gotta face them again. By this point, you should be strong enough to fairly easily take them out. And when you run low on energy, you can go into the sauna right there, and you get to see Alex's naked butt. I remember the first time I saw that, I was just falling on the ground with laughter. I thought it was hilarious. But that's a good way to get your energy back if you lose too much energy from Benny and Clyde. I mean, they're still dangerous if you let them knock you around. But now that we've got enough money, we've purchased the Texas boots, and these are super helpful. They make you much more mobile, much faster. Alex changed his shoes. A number of these items have funny dialogue once you use them. There's a teddy bear you can buy, and it'll say, Alex hugged the teddy bear when no one was looking. And there's the sauna again, just because I want to see his naked butt again. Oh, little dimples on his butt. But there's the status screen, and you can see how I've increased some of my status. And yeah, I think they max out at like 63 or something. Except for your max stamina. That can go higher than that. And here's another item, Zeus's wand. Alex held the mythic power of Olympus. What a rush. But yeah, $200 is the most an item will cost you in this game. Yeah, he's moving quicker, and that Acro Circus actually is kind of useful now. And now this is another boss, and you need to beat him before you can advance to the high school. You got to pay attention when a boss says you need to beat me before you can beat this boss, or maybe they'll tell you about another boss that you have to go back and face earlier. And now this boss will appear here. If I didn't defeat that earlier boss, then he wouldn't appear, and I wouldn't be able to get further in the game. And now I have to face Ivan at River City High. And we'll scoot forward to River City High, right there. There's different music tracks sometimes when you go to different areas, but I have to defeat all the gang members before I can face the boss here. Boy, he's pretty strong. He hit himself with the tire. You can kind of goad enemies into hurting each other. Even if an enemy blocks your attack, keep it up. You'll eventually get through. And now I'm going to face another boss. This is Ivan. I have to beat him. Survive my headbutt. Well, I'm not going to even give him the opportunity to headbutt me. I'm way too tough by now. Now I can go in River City High School. And the first fight of the first boss here that I need to face, I will face him in the gymnasium. Gymnasium has 2 floors. And we're going to scoot forward to me facing... what was his name? Otis. Yo, no dirty shoes on my gym floor. But yeah, you just press up to go up to a wall, and you hold up and you press jump, and you will jump on that wall. You can even jump onto the basketball hoops, and you'll need to in order to get to the 2nd floor. But yeah, if they block your attacks, just keep up. You'll eventually get through and hit them. Might take a while. Okay, keep them on. The twins are upstairs. And there will be twins known as Andy and Randy. Not many doors will you be able to go in that are closed. So I don't think that you can get in all the doors. There will be an open door to the left. And that's where you need to go in. And there you go to the 2nd floor of the high school. Or maybe it's the 1st floor of the high school, I'm not entirely sure. Come on. Yeah, I guess it's the 1st floor of the high school, actually. I don't recall if you had to face a boss here. I don't think you do, so you can't go in any of those doors. But you do have a boss on this floor. There's kind of a double dragon music on this stage, on this floor, I think. And you will face the twins, Andy and Randy, and it's kind of a joke towards the Lee brothers of Double Dragon, Billy and Jimmy Lee. Oh no, this is the boss Tex from this floor. I'll need to go up one more floor to face Randy and Andy, the Dragon twins. And we'll scoot up here. Mama! Yeah, you can't go up anymore, can't go down. Or, well, you can go down, but why would you? You've almost beaten the game. And now we have Double Dragon music. And we will face Randy and Andy, and they are super tough, but yeah, if you have those, as long as you have those fast feet, dragon feet or whatever it was called, the the book I read, yeah, dragon feet, then your chances are fairly good as long as you're strong enough in taking these guys out. What I like to do is bring them over in a small area like here. Go grab a weapon so they can try to properly beat my ass. Yeah, I keep picking them up. I didn't mean to do that, but yeah, you gotta watch out when you're throwing weapons. Don't want them to bounce off the wall and hit you. Oh, they gave me a chance to catch my breath. That was a big mistake. Hey, quit throwing me, damn it. Well, I guess they listened to me. And yeah, they start huffing and puffing when they're just about out of energy. I did too, but I've got my stats up enough so that I can recover some energy when I do that. I give up. You are too strong. Yeah, you sure kicked our tails. You beat us, and now the end is near. You'll find what you want up on the roof, and that will be Slick. And he's not as easy as, or I mean, he's a lot easier than Andy and Randy. And you can take that door to see Cindy, who was kidnapped. I'm late? Well, there's the door, honey. Thanks a million, Alex. Ciao. Now we're going to properly go to the roof. And here is Slick, who also calls himself Simon. Your old friend, Simon. Shut up. Yeah, you can just keep kicking them, not giving them a chance to get up, and you can beat most enemies that way, it seems. He's already huffing and puffing. And there, I've beaten him. You don't get money from him, you just get the ending of the game. But I still have some stuff to show you after the credits are over. There's a very, very useful password. Note that the password system has way, way too many characters to put in for most people's tastes. But this helpful password is easy to remember. It's got a lot of spaces, not very many letters in it. I like where it says the gang members returned to school and became honor students or something. But that is River City Ransom. It is also known as Downtown Neketsu Monogatari. And there were other related games for the NES. There was Super Dodgeball. There was one of my favorites was Technos Samurai, and I'll put that in my honorable mentions later on, even though it was Japan only, and I had to find a translator patch to read it. But it is really, really cool. It's a lot like this. That was River City Ransom. Very cool game. It also has another game in like Europe or something. I can't remember what it's called. It's like Street Gangs or something. But that's it is a cool hybrid of beat 'em up and RPG. Yeah, if you can farm Benny and Clyde over and over when you're tough enough, you can pick up $7 a pop from beating them, and you'll want to save money for those Texas boots, and maybe a was it Zeus's wand or something? The game will not end proper. You'll have to turn it off and restart. But we will look at the password that really, really helps you, and maybe a couple other things. Yeah, I think I'm going to put in the password here. You get to put in your own name if you like, as long as it's 5 letters. You press select, I think, there, and then you get to put in whatever name. But like I said, only 5 letters, and the row of letters on the right is for player number 2, if you want them to play with you. Queef. Yeah, if you don't want them to play, I think you can choose end again after you've ended it for player number 1. Or maybe it's the A button. I can't remember for sure. But again, you can choose slow, normal, or fast message speed for the dialogue, and you can choose advanced if you want for tougher enemies. And there's the password screen. See, there's way too many characters. So I will erase, and I will put in this code. And you can put in a code for the second player as well, but I'm not going to. So the code to put in is M-Shin, or Sheen, and then just go ahead, leave these blank, and then go to the next line. And now we put in Technos. I have a customer service branch of Technos not far from my house. Kinda cool. I always think of the Double Dragon theme when I walk by it on my way to work. Now we'll go ahead to the third line, and we put in Japan. This will fill up all your stats. It will give you all the technique books, having read them, and you'll start at the beginning and be just super, super freaking strong. Pretty awesome. And we'll skip. Don't care about the second player. And I will have 1,000 bucks just about. Pretty nice, eh? Look how fast and agile I am. And yeah, I've read all the technique books. Yeah, there's a technique called fatal steps. If you knock down an enemy and they're not dead, you hold both buttons to jump just barely above them and you stomp them. You jerk. I love the dialogue in this game. It's hilarious. This whole game is just so awesome. Yeah, I definitely used to own this. And this is the status screen. Hey, see, I'm maxed out. The column on the right is for player number 2, which I'm obviously not playing with. Yeah, stamina, max power. I'm really tough early on here. And there's the Javelin Man. See, when you throw them, they make this spinning move. And here's me in the, what was it, Armstrong two-way tunnel. And I'm trying to remember what I was going to do here. Oh yeah, you can go to the help screen and see what each category means. Belongings, levels, and status. Kind of cool that you have that option. And then this tells you about the password. The really daunting 3 lines of password. It's really a pain in the butt to write that all down, and impossible to remember unless you have that easy password that I showed you. It gives you all those stats and techniques and whatnot and all that money. And I think we're going to buy the more expensive items in Merlin's mystery shop here. Excalibur. And Zeus's wand. Shin could not swing the heavy and powerful sword. If you put in this password, your name is automatically Shin. What a rush. There's the Rodan wing and the gold medal. We'll buy those. We'll use the Rodan wing. Feathers started flying everywhere. I just love the dialogue in this game. It's hilarious. And now we're going to look at the gold medal. And was allowed to keep it after passing a drug test. What in the hell? What a silly game. I love it. But that was River City Ransom, created by Technos Japan in 1989 for the Nintendo Entertainment System. Fantastic game, also known as Downtown Neketsu Monogatari. Well, that was game number 17 in our 20 from the Nintendo Entertainment System, River City Ransom. Hope to see you soon for game number 16.